Hi YouTube and welcome to Danielle's Denture Diaries. I am Danielle. Um, I had just made a video and I deleted it because I went into panic mode when I was going through the comments, combing through. When I like a comment and I exit the YouTube channel page and I log back in, any comments that I had liked, they disappear from my need to respond list. And as I was scrolling, there were comments that I had liked, but there was no response. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So I quick started panicking and uploading videos, or uploading a video where I'm reading all the comments. And then I realized, I was like, wait, I made a video responding to these. I might have to make a note to myself in your comments that I posted a video for it. Not to be like, oh, please wait for video or whatever, but just because I panicked. I panicked so bad, especially because some of the comments were time sensitive. So I'm still talking myself down from anxiety right now. Oh my gosh. But I did come across one comment. It was literally posted just now as I was kind of looking at my list of videos I could be choosing from to post. The one I'm wanting to make is the one where it's the different YouTube or content creators around dentures and not reviewing them, but offering some kind of summary of the creator's personality, at least in my own opinion, and the topics they cover. I still haven't done enough research into that. Like, I'm probably going to need at least an hour or two of sitting down watching different videos. But while I was panicking going through the comments, there was one that I did see from Marina Ojeda. So I'm going to read their comment and then I would like to talk about it. I don't mean to change the subjects. We were talking in comments. But I don't know if I haven't found any support groups that have gone through the same thing that I have as far as dentures. I've had no teeth for half of my life, which would be 30 years. I am now 60, and I do have top and bottom dentures. I have my permanent for 3 months now. I'm still trying to get used to eating and talking with them normally, if there's such a thing. However, anytime that you might be able to speak on people with no teeth as opposed to people that have a denture and some teeth and a little teeth are not very many here, but if you can possibly research people with no teeth for over 25 years, that would be greatly appreciated by me because I have yet to find anybody on YouTube or Facebook groups that know anything about that. Please and thank you. I can definitely look into this, so I will look at it while I'm here. So I went to YouTube, or good old trusty Google, I meant, impact of no teeth. So let's look at the impacts, because I feel like that is one of the biggest things that would come out of not having your teeth. There's going to be, I'm sure we're going to see some physical change as well as impacts. And we're also going to be looking at potentially mental and emotional distress, I would assume. But I'm not going to be able to speak on that aside from the fact that I myself don't have any biological teeth. I do, however, like you were saying, have dentures. I will give my opinion here at the end, but let's look at what good old internet has to say. Missing teeth can affect jaw function, create malocclusion, and affect your day-to-day diet. Gaps between the teeth allow neighboring teeth to drift into unoccupied spaces. When teeth aren't in their proper position, you begin to have issues with bite alignment, which is that malocclusion, irregular teeth wear, and jaw stress. So that is from www.evansondds.com. What are the consequences of missing teeth? So when I break that down, the first thing I see is that it can affect your jaw function. So when I think about myself, because that is the point of reference that I have, is my own personal experience, which, Marina, you're going to have the most experience and expertise in this field, but I am happy to talk about it as much as I possibly can. If you have adjustments to this video, comments, different feedback, please drop it in the comments, because you would be the professional here. But I am happy to give you a platform and a voice with your situation. And for anyone else sitting in the same situation, please drop a comment for Marina and show some support. That is, after all, why we are here. But anyways, so if I were to think about a lack of jaw function, I would imagine that, well, for one, when I can clench down and have dentures stop my bite force or create a bite force, it can create the tension that I'm needing at the time, whether it's stress, chewing, biting, whatever it is, versus when I'm not wearing my dentures, and at least especially for when I had my physical muscular memory, when I would take my dentures out, if I continued to keep trying to bite down where there once were teeth, it's no longer something happening where it's like this, like there's a stopping point. I'm now stressing my gums to continue going, and this is actually basically exactly what would happen. Touching my front gums together is not possible, and I don't know if that's just me, but that is how my gums healed. And honestly, my left side touches before my right side, and that has always been the case, even when I had crowns. But imagine if there was nothing there to ever stop your jaw from moving. It just kind of kept going and going and going and going, and the tension and the stress that would cause on the hinges of your jaw. That is so frustrating and annoying, which is another reason why it's so hard for me not to wear my dentures, because that stress for me was very difficult and very uncomfortable. I need there to be a stopping point for my jaw. So I imagine that would affect your jaw function, because it's probably stressing the heck out of your hinges. You know what I'm saying? Like, those hinges aren't supposed to just keep going. They're supposed to stop at some point, at least as long as your body remembers, hey, something used to stop us from moving. Now we just kind of do what we want. Creating malocclusion, which is the issues with bite alignment. I mean, I think about that. When a dentist refers to your bite, overbite, underbite, they're typically talking about your teeth. It gives you a point of reference where your teeth naturally click together or clash together. I guess they don't clash, but they fit together in a way like a puzzle, right? Or at least they typically would. For someone wearing dentures, hopefully that is the case. Your bite is aligned. If all you have is gums or 4 teeth, 7 teeth, 10 teeth, whatever it is, if your teeth have no way of telling your jaw, yes, it's aligned, that's going to be a little difficult. Just like, again, speaking from what I can experience and recall, it's just like if I don't have that point of reference for stopping, you no longer have a point of reference for where is this supposed to be or go? Yeah, you can maintain the conscious effort of, oh, this feels like my jaw's this way, I'm going to go ahead and fix that. But that would be really, again, stressful and kind of tedious. I would imagine. And just like with my tongue, if I don't have teeth to tell my tongue where to be inside my mouth, my tongue just kind of does whatever it wants when I'm trying to sleep and I'm laying on one side, and teeth usually would stop it from going anywhere. And now all of a sudden my tongue just goes, and it just, whatever. So, and I'm not trying to scare anyone or make the situation for someone seem so down. In my opinion, it is a very heavy situation to carry. And something else that she and I kind of touched on is that we're having a wonderful conversation in the comments. Something else that she and I kind of touched on is some people are happy with not having dentures. Some people are happy never having teeth again. And that is okay. It is not our place to say, but you have to have dentures. That's not what we do here. We're here to support. And for me, I don't want to speak for this member of our group. It did sound like this was a very difficult situation, and getting dentures was a relief for her when she did get them. She does now, after all, have permanent dentures, which is incredible. But I just wanted to make a quick disclaimer here because it sounds like I'm talking so negatively, and I'm not trying to, but this does sound like this would be the reality, and this is the best way I could relate to it and kind of explain it. And of course, it would affect your day-to-day diet. Having dentures affected my day-to-day diet. Sorry, I had to plug in my computer. It was starting to die. Oh, I still haven't plugged it in. But having dentures affected my day-to-day diet because could I eat more than if I didn't have any teeth at all? Sure. But it was still hard, and you still have to learn how to eat. And you still have to deal with the healing process and other stuff. Now imagine, you know what, let's use that same scenario. If this is your mouth, and let's say you're like me, maybe, again, my own point of reference, if you're not wearing your dentures, for any of you denture wearers, if you're like me, the front of your gums can't touch with no teeth in your mouth. You take your dentures out, you look in the mirror, you try to touch your gums to each other. I can't. I physically cannot. Okay? That's way too much stress. So let's say this is as far as your mouth will close, which I'm going to give it a little bit of credit. Maybe you can move a little bit further down. Maybe you're kind of stuck here like me. The back of my gums here, which never receded because they were always bare. They didn't have any teeth ever. This is as far as it'll let me go. Now imagine you have food in your mouth. An easy food for me to eat with dentures is macaroni and cheese. Take one macaroni. How big is a macaroni? I don't know. We'll use this cord. That's noodle, thick, thin. How are you going to chew that? Mashed potatoes, because you can physically mush it with your tongue. And even then, you don't really have to. But if you have skin on potatoes, like mashed potatoes with the skin in it still, like some people like, I hope the skin is small enough that you're not going to choke, or that it's comfortable enough to swallow whole. But you can't do anything with this. It just stops. So what do you eat? Your nutrition is impacted. You can only live on protein shakes so much for so long. And not to mention, how difficult is it to go out to eat? And I'm not trying to make a situation that's difficult worse for anybody, and I'm not trying to point something out that might be painful. But if I were to put myself in this member's shoes, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. These are just things that, as I talk through it right here with you guys live, I'm not going to edit this. You know I won't. But that is a heavy thing to carry, and I don't know how you did this. And if you have rebuttals against everything I say, please drop it in the comments, because again, you are the professional. Anyone here dealing with the situation that they described, you are the expert, not me. I am just here to facilitate what I can see, what I can read, what I can relate to. And then on top of that, the gaps between the teeth allow neighboring teeth to drift into unoccupied spaces. See, and that's something I completely forget. I'm going to touch more on a few other things that aren't here. This may be a pretty long video, I'm not going to lie. But the next thing is your teeth will shift into the unoccupied space. That is a fact, and that is a reality. We get our teeth pulled, the molars, wisdom teeth, whatever, in order to allow our teeth to have enough room to stay straight, to be straight, to get straightened, whatever it is. And what happens when people with their biological teeth don't get their teeth removed? They continue to shift and change and crash into one another. Versus it gets removed, ideally, teeth move into place or stay in place where they should be. Or the ideal situation, the ideal aesthetic, the ideal healthy mouth, whatever it is. Now imagine if, we'll use me for an example again. These teeth right here, not my dentures, my teeth. If you go back and watch older videos, I was missing those. They were just little tiny nubs. Not even, I mean, it was, if I had to show you guys how much those teeth had ruptured a gum line, for me, it was maybe that much. Not even enough for impactful biting and eating, especially when they're surrounded by crowns that stick up this high. You know what I mean? Like, these were like almost flat gum line, barely ruptured. If I had continued the way I was, or if that situation had been the way it was for a very long time, and mind you, I did create these MacGyvered caps out of plastic, but what good is that really? And I'm not a dentist, so I had no right to do that. But untreated, everything could have shifted so much so to the point where, I don't know, my back tooth that was right behind those things would have came forward, or these front teeth would have came this way, or maybe both. Then my teeth would have been all over the place. Like, what do you do? And I mean, there's just no telling the way that your body is going to respond. All it wants to do is heal and fill the void, or make itself better, or evolve, or whatever you want to refer to it as. But that's just crazy. And I mean, I know there's people out there who have teeth that stick straight out, or kind of like unfold out of their mouth. And it's situations like this. Their teeth just didn't stop moving. When teeth aren't in their proper position, you begin to have issues with bite alignment. So again, that malocclusion, whatever, that can also impact your ability to bite down properly. For as many teeth as I did have, crowns, whatever, I couldn't chew on that side of my mouth. I had to chew on the other side. So my bite over time, your teeth, your crowns still get worn thin over time because you're always chewing on the same side. I mean, that's probably why my mouth is the way it is to this day without my biological teeth. Now imagine for someone who has 3 teeth total on one side, trying to bite, trying to chew. Well, for one, it's probably painful because at some point one tooth is going into one of your jaws. Like, what even is eating at that point? I'm really trying to think now. Like, a donut. I had a donut yesterday morning. And those are soft. Those are easy for me to bite and tear into. They're easy for me to chew. But if I didn't have... Oh, wow. That is stressful. Like, really sit and think. Like, if you had 3 teeth, this is your bottom gum line, and maybe you have these 3 teeth up top, and it just right into your gums. Because chewing is what? The meeting of 2 surfaces connecting and tearing or grinding, and that... Oh, and it will lead to irregular teeth wear and jaw stress. Exactly what I just said, just like me eating on the one side and not the other. And then, not even to mention, something else that's not mentioned in this specific little blurb is the emotional and mental impact. For me, if I'm in this situation, again, I'm not speaking for the member, I'm speaking for myself. Where would you go eat? What would you eat? Because even my go-to for a soft food was Salisbury steak. And if my mouth doesn't connect, I mean, that's about as thick as a Salisbury steak is. That's not enough connection to tear anything. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? You can't chew, because where you would chew, there's an even bigger open gap. Because that's where the hinge of your jaw is, right here. On my hand, like that means anything. But this back here, it can only touch down so far. That's why your molars basically make up the structure of your face and how long or round it is. That's why the dentist, the reconstructional surgeon, told me that we had to build up my back molars because my face was meant to be longer based off things like genetics and from what he could see with the way my cheeks were or whatever. He built them up and it made my face a little bit longer in high school. You take those away, you take them all away. I mean, it reshapes your face. Your gums, I would assume, recede to a point, to some point. Thankfully, it sounds like the member was able to get their permanent dentures, so it did not get to a point where the dentures no longer work or have anything to hold on to. But again, speaking to the hypothetical, if we don't have dentures, if we didn't have dentures, I would be SOL. If I had to be honest. Sorry, I also realized I must be tired because my left eye is like way more closed. It's like halfway closed. Like, look at this. I tried doing my makeup to fix it and even it out, and it's just... I mean, okay, I guess I see I'm missing some black, but it's like the more I add eyeliner, the more profound it is. So, anyways. Sorry, I jump all over. What happens to your mouth when you have no teeth? Quite simply, eating with missing teeth can cause heavy wear and tear on your gums. It can also place a burden on surrounding teeth. You could experience soreness, bleeding, and irritation to your gums. In the worst scenarios, your gums could become infected. And that is from www.southfloridadentalcare.com. Problems that can arise if you eat without teeth. So even in the sense that you do use your gums to chew, is that their intended function? No. No, there's a reason why humans are ideally born not with teeth. Born with the ability to grow and have teeth eventually. To chew, to bite, and according to this, if you somehow find a way to chew with just gums, it's still not good. It's still not a good thing. You're eating, which is great. However, it sounds like you're still going to pay a price. Can missing teeth cause brain damage? There is a dose-response relationship between tooth loss and cognitive impairment. While tooth loss can be an independent risk factor for Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia, tooth loss can also accelerate nerve damage and neurodegeneration. And that's from www.frontiersin.org. Tooth loss associated mechanisms that negatively affect cognitive. Oh boy, this just gets better. Can you live a healthy life without teeth? You can live without them. There are significant problems with living without teeth, but you can survive. Your brain, your internal organs, and a few other things are required to just survive, to be alive. Healthy teeth and a healthy mouth are essential to a good quality of life. Agreed. And that's why I personally, again, my personal preference for life is I sought dentures for a higher quality life. Again, people may be perfectly content and happy as a clam without them. It just wasn't me. These are interesting. Does losing teeth affect memory? People have long known of the link between aging and tooth loss, but researchers have now discovered that tooth loss can cause loss of memory. When a person chews, the movement of teeth stimulates the brain's hippocampus region, which is involved in memory. Tooth loss means that fewer of these signals are sent. That is from www.totalfamilydentalgroup.com. I'm going to have a pamper night tonight after this because this is heavy and then it gets heavier. Can missing teeth cause heart problems? I feel like there should be a trigger warning for this video. I'll put one in the title. So, can missing teeth cause heart problems? In addition to Eden Toulis participants those who reported having 1 to 5 missing teeth or 6 or more, but not all, missing teeth were also more likely to develop cardiovascular disease even after adjusting for other factors such as body mass index, age, race, alcohol consumption, smoking, diabetes, and dental. In addition, reported 1 to 5 missing teeth. And that is an article by www.acc.org, tooth loss associated with higher risk of heart disease. What? I know I've heard of fillings, the materials go through your nervous system, through where your tooth was and had a hole in it, and it goes to your heart through your bloodstream or something, and that affects your heart. This is new, and I'm not sure I completely understand. Again, I'm just looking this up as I'm on this video with you guys. Now the other one, does losing teeth affect memory and stimulating the hippocampus? Well, for someone who has dentures, we have that ability to bite down, experience that force bite, and apparently stimulate a part of our brain. I had no idea. Does losing teeth affect your speech? Yes, missing teeth can make it more difficult to speak. This is because in order to pronounce and form words, your lips, teeth, and tongues need to position properly. Some words are very difficult to pronounce without touching your tongue to your teeth, including the word teeth. Agreed, and if you've watched any of our speech practice videos, we did talk quite a bit about that, so I'm not surprised by it. I do know that I don't particularly enjoy talking without my teeth or singing, and what really finally sent me into a form of like a realization to my limits was that one day when I was still healing, I had taken my dentures out. I was no longer swollen, but I think I was having bone shards everywhere. So I took them out, but I had to make a phone call to, I don't know, DMV, something, I don't know. And it was about my car or something. I had to list off numbers and letters. I had to read them off. And every time I would try to say 7 or a couple other different numbers, the automation would read it back to me and it would be wrong. It would keep saying I said S instead of F. And it just got so frustrating. I had to hang up the phone. I got very emotional. I put my dentures in, and then I called back into the system, and after I think the second or third attempt I was able to get through. And even then I'm pretty sure I ended up just requesting to talk to a oh my gosh, a person. And I mean, that was my experience with the impact of not having any teeth. Was I had dentures, I just wasn't wearing them at the time. But if you're trying to make a phone call and you say S when you're trying to say F, or F and you're trying to say S, and sorry, my phone's going off. How do people live with no teeth? The traditional solution has been to make a plastic set of teeth that sort of suctions into the mouth, and after a period of adjusting to how to eat with the floating teeth in your mouth, most people accommodate reasonably well. Shout out to denture wearers. Not relevant to this question. That is from www.aestheticdentistrygt.com. What life's really like without teeth. Does having no teeth make you look older? So tying in with what would be, in my opinion, a part of the mental and emotional aspect, we as humans either couldn't care less about what someone else thinks about how we look. Sometimes, for me personally, it's not that I care very much what other people think, but I do want to always feel my best. When I do my makeup and I go to work, it helps me present the version of myself that I want others to not only see, but to bring out how I feel and the way I see myself. I do my makeup because that is the lens I see myself through, and I feel like it really fully expresses the way I want to be seen. This is me. Like, it's makeup, but it's me. It wouldn't be there if it weren't for me. I don't know. When I come home, dinner, put our son to bed, and I get ready to jump onto a video and I touch up my makeup, that is my choice because that is how I want to look. The way I look without my teeth, is it the worst thing ever? No. Is it intolerable? No. Is it unforgivable? Absolutely not. Do I feel my best without my teeth? No. Do I want to walk around without my teeth? No. And let's do a hypothetical here. Maybe I went to the dentist, told them I want dentures. Somehow I misunderstood the information I was given. I went through with getting the extraction, and either I ended up being unqualified to get dentures, or they didn't make them, or whatever the case might have been, which thank God, no. But if that were the case, and that was me in that situation, I don't even know where I would be. I don't know. And the member who inspired this video went 30 years without their dentures. That's not just a day, not 30 days, not 30 months, 30 years. 30 years. I'm sorry, I'm not yawning from the topic. It's kind of late where I am, but I got kind of passionate about this when I read it. And anyways, let's read what Google said about it, though. Does having no teeth make you look older? Missing teeth contribute to the appearance of sunken cheeks, which can make you look older. Teeth are anchored to the jawbone by sockets, and if these remain empty, bone loss occurs. The jaw contributes to the structure of the face, and less jawbone will leave you with a gaunt appearance. And that is from www.chesterfielddentistry.com. Do implants make you look younger? I mean, it's the same spiel my dentist gave me. He said that at the time I was 27. And he said, you are too young, you need to have implants, you need to salvage the shape of your face as much as we possibly can. And I mean, the finances weren't there for it. And there was definitely a need to get the dentures without implants, so it just wasn't even an option for me. If that's something you're worried about, allegedly it will help to have implants. It will continue to stimulate your gums at least a little bit, kind Completely, I don't know. But let's say you go the route of what most dentists that I know of recommend, is that you get at least 2 on one side top, 2 on one side's bottom. So a total of at least 8 implants. Now, 2 right here, is that going to stimulate the whole front of your jaw? I don't know. 2 back here, will that stimulate the whole back of your jaw? I don't know. In my head, no. And some people get as many implants as they want, mini implants, 20, 10, whatever the case. Princess Glitterhead Diaries, she got the implants. Now, as far as her face shape, it's still sunken in when she's not wearing her dentures. No shade. My face sinks in. It's not to be cruel, it's not to be mean, it's not to be harsh, but you don't have the teeth there. If you take them out, yes, we both appear to have sunken in faces. With me wearing my dentures right now, is my face a little sunken in? I'm also contoured right now. Again, putting up the appearance that I like. Sure. It's a little sunken in. Also, this is my face shape. I'm not the youngest person ever with a round, full face. I am a little bit older. So, yes, that's normal. Now, if you don't have dentures for forever and ever, for a long time, yeah. And I imagine that would, for me, it would definitely do something to my confidence. But let's keep it moving. What are the options for people with no teeth? Dentists may recommend bridges, crowns, inlays, onlays, or fillings. Depending on the number of missing teeth, there are also dental implants, which work great for people without any teeth, as well as a permanent solution. Patients never have to worry about the problems going forward. A dental bridge is a possibility as well. And that is from www.titandentalcare.com. That's a really cool name, not gonna lie. Full mouth reconstruction solutions when you have no teeth. Well, I was too young to have that, so whatever. But we already knew that those were options. Again, that's not necessarily what we're here to discuss. Here's another article. Does missing teeth cause dementia? The relationship between tooth loss and cognitive decline was dose dependent. Quotes. Each lost tooth was associated with a 1.4% increase in the risk of cognitive impairment and a 1.1% increase in the risk of dementia. Participants who were missing 20 or more teeth had a 31% higher risk of cognitive impairment. I'm going to click into that article because now I do want to know more. Is that still because of the stimulation or lack of for the hippocampus? This part makes me sad in the article. So not right in the very beginning of it, but the second paragraph down, problems with oral hygiene, oral health, such as poor oral hygiene, tooth cavities, gum disease, and tooth loss are common in our older adults than in other age groups. First of all, there's other things too. That's not it. We've talked about that before, and that's a little frustrating. Just for me, if no one else is offended by that, that's fine. I don't always think that that's a fair thing to say. Research of 6 major databases of biomedical science publications identified 14 relevant studies. These studies used questionnaires, assessments, medical records, and information from death certificates to identify participants with cognitive impairment or dementia. Out of a total of 34,074 participants, 4,689 had cognitive impairment or dementia. The studies used medical examinations and self-reported records to assess tooth loss and classified participants as having more or fewer missing teeth. The researchers found that participants with more missing teeth had, on average, a 48% higher risk of cognitive impairment and 28% higher risk of dementia. The relationship between tooth loss and cognitive decline was dose-dependent. I think I need to go back and look up what dose-dependent means here in a second. Each lost tooth was associated with a 1.4 increase in the risk of cognitive impairment and a 1.1% increase in the risk of dementia. Participants missing 20 or more teeth, had a 31% higher risk of cognitive impairment. Participants who had lost all their teeth, that's me, had a 54% higher risk of cognitive impairment and 40% higher risk of dementia. Interestingly, participants who had missing teeth but used dentures did not have a significant Interestingly, participants who had missing teeth but used dentures did not have a significantly higher risk of dementia than participants without missing teeth. Wait, weird phrasing. Did not have a significantly higher risk of dementia than participants. I would hope not. Wait, what? Why would people with dentures have a higher risk of dementia than participants? Participants without missing teeth. So they have teeth. Someone with dentures, someone with dentures did not have a higher risk of dementia than people who... Okay, so weird sentence rephrased. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who reads this article with me or heard what I just read. It means someone who has dentures in lieu of teeth did not have a higher risk of dementia than someone who has all their teeth. As long as you have dentures, it doesn't sway. I read that the other way around. I was like, hold up. The researchers note that the reason for this association between tooth loss and the risk of cognitive decline is unclear. Tooth loss can result in problems with chewing that may lead to nutritional deficiencies, chemical imbalances, or changes to the brain that affect brain function. Okay, so yeah, the food that you take in, it goes towards everything. Your muscles, your brain is a muscle, and if it's not being fed, okay, sure, I'm following. Affects chemical imbalances, okay, I'm following. Also, poor oral hygiene may lead to increased bacteria in the mouth. Okay, yeah, we know that. Lead to gum disease, which can cause inflammation and raise the risk of beta amyloid plaques in the brain, leading to dementia. So bad oral hygiene. Okay, well, let's assume everyone here in this group does the best they can. And yes, are we human? Do we sometimes run off to work and don't brush our gums or our teeth? Sure. But I'm not going to put that template on us. I'm sorry. I'm not in denial. I'm sure it happens. I myself have been guilty of probably going too long without brushing my teeth because I was depressed and my crowns were shifting and moving too much and falling out. But I digress. Tooth loss without the use of dentures might also be an indication of lower socioeconomic status and lower education level, both of which are independently linked to an increased risk of dementia. So because you may be at higher risk for dementia, you may be at a lower socioeconomic status and a lower education level, according to this article. I'm not sure that I follow it. I know I could see myself if we play on the scenario where I went and I had all my teeth removed and I did not, for whatever reason, get my dentures that same day or at least shortly after, I wouldn't go back to work. I mean, I'm sure I would, or I would have to, but I don't think I would have the job I have now. I certainly wouldn't have had the confidence to continue to do it. I would be very depressed. I would probably be in a very bad place. I wouldn't, yeah. It was important enough for me to get dentures that I did it the way I did it and made sure I had my dentures with me when I went in for my surgery. But like putting us in someone else's shoes who maybe did not have that, or maybe they did and they just never had the support to wear their dentures because they sucked and no one helped them learn to wear them. Or I'm getting passionate again, I'm sorry. Alternatively, missing teeth might be an early sign of cognitive impairment. Okay. Decline might be less. People with cognitive decline might be less likely to keep up with oral hygiene, leading to tooth loss. Okay, well, not the circumstance for me, not the circumstance for everyone here. The research was limited by the fact that various publications studied and used different methods of data collection and data analysis. However, the results suggest that timely interventions such as encouraging the use of dentures and other orthodontic treatments and large-scale education programs on the importance of oral hygiene in older adults might help prevent or slow down cognitive decline linked to tooth loss. So, moral of the story is there's even a cognitive brain relationship to you having dentures versus not having dentures. Like the article said, it's not necessarily the end-all be-all, or it's not proven as fact. I can certainly follow where some of the thought processes are here. The one we read recently about the hippocampus being stimulated when we chew and bite. Sure, I mean, I suppose there's a certain part of our facial structure that's flexing and maybe almost like constricting or flexing a part of the brain that we typically just use mentally and emotionally but not physically. So maybe that's, I suppose I can understand that. What I do want to look at is, what was that word I'd said earlier? I know someone's saying it out loud right now. They're like, seriously? Okay, dose dependent. I want to know what dose dependent means. What does dose dependent mean? Because this is the third or fourth time it's been mentioned. What is that? Dose dependent. Interesting. So what came up from Wikipedia as dose response relationship, the dose response relationship or exposure response relationship describes the magnitude of the response of an organism as a function of exposure to a stimulus or stressor after a certain exposure of time. Dose response relationships can be described by dose response curves. And some of these other articles that I've pulled up it keeps talking about the reports the effects of a drug treatment or exercise period from igi-global.com, springer.com, and as an increase in the biological half-life of a drug and a greater than, so it's basically talking about something to do with pharmaceuticals, I guess. What is dose-dependent toxicity? Refers to the effects of treatment with a drug. I'm afraid I don't understand. Abstract experience with dose response and mechanisms of toxicity has shown that multiple mechanisms may exist for a single agent. Ranges of doses are used for different indications, and there is the need to understand the clinical implications of dose-dependent induction. What? Dose-dependent example. Scholarly articles for dose-dependent example. Okay, I didn't mean for that, I guess. Hold on, let me go back and look at the relationship between tooth loss and cognitive decline was dose-dependent. It was bad. The relationship between tooth loss and cognitive decline was... How does that... I'm trying to think how I would... Thesaurus. It's the same... It's not the same word, but it's a very similar meaning, and you can kind of like interchange it in a way. I'm trying to find a way to make this make sense, because this is a few times that dose dependent has been referenced, and not just in that article that I read. And again, that was the National Institute on Aging, nia.nih.gov. Tooth loss in older adults linked to higher risk of dementia is the article we just read together, and I looked up what that other one was. I accidentally just left my place. Where was I? Okay, impact of no teeth. Let's do that again and go back down. Okay. Does missing teeth affect your face? Yes, we covered that. At what age do you quit losing teeth? 10. Unless it's referring to losing your adult teeth. Does losing teeth affect jawline? Teeth help to stabilize the jaw and surrounding bones that give a face its structure. Front teeth offer support to the facial muscles in the lips and cheeks. Molars help maintain the shape of the jawline. So, yeah. Losing that support can make the face sag and droop. So something else that's even impacted that I've seen, heard about, it's been referenced by a few other creators, is that they get a little extra materials on the front of their denture, and it's with the intention of pushing their lips out more to make their lips appear fuller still. Some people say that their lips shrink when they have dentures or they remove their teeth. They go through the extraction and they become self-conscious and they want fuller lips still. So, I mean, I know you can shape your dentures to accommodate that kind of a change. I plan on always having thicker dentures. I don't mind that because it does provide a structural base for where my cheeks can be and my jaw can be. It's just going to be a matter of always adjusting to my shrinking gums. But again, what if you didn't have dentures? What happens to your face over time? I'm sorry. Do missing teeth cause jowls? So for anyone that doesn't know, it's when your face kind of comes down a little and it kind of like drags or, kind of sags down a little. Missing teeth often contribute to the appearance of sunken cheeks or jowls. When one or more teeth are missing, it can lead to bone loss at the site of the gap. Normally, teeth are anchored to the jaw bone by sockets. However, if the sockets remain empty, that means there are large empty spaces in the jaw. Your gums recede, and then, yeah. Does your face shrink with dentures? With missing teeth or ill-fitting dentures, your facial muscles will begin to sag, giving you a lopsided, sunken appearance. But with properly fitting dentures designed at the correct height, your face will be proportioned as it should. I got lucky that my commercial grade economy dentures, whatever they're called, work wonders for me. I'm in love with them. I will never not love them. I will never not love them, yeah. But if I didn't have them or if they were ill-fitting, I mean, yeah, my face wouldn't look the same. And this is just a very heavy topic. And it's definitely a massive reality check for me, because what this is making me think about is that if I had continued on the path I was on and had no dentures and maybe gotten to a point where my teeth did rot, fell out, caused infections, I could be sitting in such a different scenario right now. And it's definitely making me feel grateful for my circumstance and situation. And I do also, with that being said, want to take the time to say I am so sorry to anyone dealing with these things, or anyone that's had to, because that's, to my knowledge and understanding, it's not even easy to read. I understand it's late at night right now, but this is like emotionally and mentally taxing, and I can't imagine doing it for 30 years. So I hope anyone with this situation finds a place here in this support group, and I am so sorry that I've leaned so much into talking about dentures and how wonderful they are, that looking back and reflecting, I think I actually missed a subculture in our community where there may be people here who have only gotten the extractions, or they lost all their teeth and they've never gotten dentures. And this is honestly profound for me. And I'm very sorry that I personally missed this somehow. Not for the people who choose to be without dentures. I'm happy for you. But I can imagine that maybe being in the hypothetical situation I was talking about before, where someone expected to have dentures and then suddenly got declined at the last minute, or their dentures break and they can't afford to replace them, or, I mean, there's so many different situations, and it leaves people in a very unfair circumstance. And something I mentioned in a comment to a member here named Paradise is there's this video I watched where the person had said, you know what I don't understand? I don't understand not being able to see. I don't understand not being able to see, and I'm paraphrasing, because you think about it, there's people that walk around this earth and they can see perfectly for free. And then for someone like myself, I have to pay to be able to use one of my 5 senses. And it was a joke. The video definitely came across as being like funny and poking fun, but it was making a very profound point. How unreal is that? And how crappy of a situation is that? That, again, someone like myself, I have to wear glasses or contacts. I have to pay for that. And to have contacts where I don't risk having glasses getting bumped off my face and broken, and then I have to replace my glasses anyways, to wear contacts, it's expensive. Dentures are expensive. This procedure is expensive, and not everyone has access to it. And it's just to be able to eat. It's to eat. Oh my. So many mixed feelings. Sorry guys, this is a long video. It's a doozy. Will I look funny with dentures? That's not a relevant. Is there any connection between teeth and brain? Teeth connect with other organs in the body via nerves, which aid in sensory reception and proprioception. Specifically, teeth have a correlation with parts of the brain. From www.primescholars.com. How do teeth affect mental health? Poor oral health can make your mental health worse. You might feel embarrassed about your teeth. You may find it hard to eat or drink when you're with other people. This can cause you to avoid being with people, which can affect your well-being. And then there's that aspect. I mean, I'm sitting here complaining that I had crowns that were falling out of my face. At least I was able to MacGyver something and put something together to make it passable. But there's people who legitimately walk around with no teeth, and it's not their choice. I had to go to the grocery store one time because I had to, and my dentures were at the lab, I think. This was way back. I posted videos during that time, and it was one of the first times I posted a video of me without my teeth, my dentures, and to go to the store, and at the time, I was the only one wearing a mask. And even then, I couldn't bring myself to not wear my mask. No one else was in the store. And yes, it was still during the panini, but I couldn't. I couldn't. And I mean, even in posting that video, I'd rather do that than do that in person with somebody. That is so vulnerable. And to not go out, to not talk to anybody, smile at your white waiter or waitress when they bring you your food saying thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm not crying, but I got stuffed up for some reason. My whole reason for getting dentures, my biggest push was that I wanted to take pictures with my son smiling, and I wanted to be able to smile at my son. If I had no teeth, if I had no dentures. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Can tooth decay make you depressed? Just as depression can contribute to bad teeth, dental problems may also lead to depression or worsen it. There are two primary reasons for this. First and foremost, bad teeth can significantly interfere with a person's healthy body image. What happens if tooth decay is left untreated for years? We're not going to go into that. I mean, the nice thing is that there are a lot of articles. It looks like they're essentially saying the same thing, that they do affect you. The lack of teeth or dentures will affect you physically, mentally, emotionally. Again, I'm not trying to speak for anyone who does or doesn't have that situation. This is what I am simply reading here. This healthy, maintain a well-defined profile. So I switched over to images, and I still have impact of no teeth. So this chart that I'm looking at right now, it shows a healthy teeth maintain a well-defined profile. So the way my jaw and my mouth sits it's very even. As the bone reduces, the face loses its youthful shape. So it shows the person's face kind of like sagging. And over time, loose or tooth loss contributes to an aged appearance. So it does also show like almost like an X-ray version into this person's mouth where it's just a drawing, it's not the real thing, but their teeth go from, having the full mouth, and then it just kind of keeps going, which I suppose that makes sense. So as your mouth closes, all this skin that was right here on the outside, you had all that skin to begin with, and now all of a sudden you have nothing to support the inside of your mouth. You can close it to whatever extent you can, but all that skin and muscle is still there, which causes it to kind of gravitate. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's a lot. Okay, so those images got pretty interesting. Let me see. Impact of no teeth on a child? I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Over time. It says over 50. Let's do over time. Once a tooth or teeth goes missing, the bone is in danger of degrading and becoming weaker. The deterioration can cause healthy teeth to become loose. In some cases, they may even become fully dislodged. Once jawbone recession sets in, it is not uncommon for gums to begin receding as well. For anyone who's went through the tooth extraction process like me, that's not too much of a shocker. And then we can go right back into that conversation of, do dentures stimulate your gums? Does it help with preventing, which we talked about a bit, Can having no teeth affect your health? Tooth loss has been linked to heart disease, diabetes, and an increased risk for kidney disease. A healthy mouth is alkaline. It's vital for you to maintain an alkaline pH to keep harmful bacteria away. It's saying gum disease and severe infections in the mouth can spread to other parts of the body faster than people realize. I touched on that a little bit with the filling situation. Fillings are actually pretty risky. Yeah. And this is at Ray Basharati.com. How missing teeth can affect your health. And this is an interesting question here in this article. So I had put impact of no teeth over time into Google, and now I'm just kind of scrolling through. Rather than saying, does losing teeth shorten your life, this question says, why does losing teeth shorten your life? I'm going to drink some sweet tea because it makes me feel happy. So, what is the correlation between longevity and tooth loss? There is a good chance that a large number of people develop gum diseases. The bacteria that cause gum disease and eventually tooth loss slip into the bloodstream, affect other vital functions, increasing the risk of heart attack, stroke, etc. And that is at www.smilepointdentalcare.com. What happens when you have all your teeth removed? So, all right. Yes, this is what is often referred to as immediate dentures. Once you have all of your teeth pulled, your dentist will place the dentures and provide you with instructions on what you need to do while your mouth gets used to their shape. That did not answer the question of what happens when you have all your teeth removed. Hopefully you have dentures, but again, not everyone does. And that is bestdentistinhouston.com. Oh. What happens if all teeth are removed? Many people complain that it is difficult to bite and chew foods they enjoy with dentures. Over time, the jawbone itself begins to recontour, shrink, and deteriorate because there are no teeth in the jaw to keep the bone stimulated. This causes dentures to become loose, ill-fitting, painful, and dysfunctional. You know what? And this is at www.texaswisdom.com. Long-term effects of missing teeth. Gum disease. Alzheimer's. You know what? Okay. Hi, you're beautiful. All right. I have a couple takeaways. I'm going to stop because it seems there's a lot there to unpack when it comes to someone with no teeth, no dentures, no implants, no nothing in their mouth. I want to reiterate, there are people who do not have any teeth, no dentures, and they are happy, happy, happy. And that is incredible for them, as long as they are apparently staying safe. And they're okay. They have resources that may help them should anything, God forbid, happen. So I want to start with that. I want to also say that for anyone here who does not have any teeth or dentures or anything to replace your teeth, I am so sorry that I missed the mark. I had no idea. I mean, I know it's there. I personally know of someone in the situation, like personally, and yet it just did not dawn on me to say anything, and that was my fault. So I want to thank you for bringing it to my attention and requesting me to say something. I'm not sure if this is what you were hoping I would say, but I am happy to bring awareness to the situation. For me personally, it made me, for one, much more aware, and two, very humbled and grateful. I just can't even imagine. And I also want to say that anyone who does not have dentures here or teeth or anything, please just be mindful of the information. And it is not to be a fear monger. It is not to instill fear. If I were doing this research out of fear of not having my dentures ready for me, or that I would somehow be declined, or the risk of just not having dentures, if my dentures broke tomorrow, I have no replacements. And I would be very worried about the long-term effects very quickly, because this does instill a little bit of concern for me, and it definitely makes me want to get a backup pair of dentures for sure. I think I'm going to start looking into that tomorrow. So please be aware and make decisions that work for you. If still not getting dentures is the answer for you, I'm happy for you. If you are wondering if there are risks to not having dentures beyond just not having the teeth physically there, this is what I've found. I'm not a dentist, I'm not a surgeon, I am not a professional. I'm simply an experienced denture wearer. I walked you through every article I was reading. I told you exactly what I typed into Google here. I want you to do your own research and please make an informed decision. And that's all I can really ask from anyone in this support group. Please do not take my word for anything beyond my personal experience. I am not prescribing anything. I'm not telling you what to do. Please just do your own research and be mindful. And that being said, my last takeaway would be that having dentures definitely has its bonuses, because it does allow you to have a somewhat better nutritional diet, which can lead to certain illnesses if you don't have a good nutrition plan. I imagine that it would be even worse if I didn't have dentures. For me, it's not bad because I have been practicing with dentures. Lettuce is still hit and miss, but I mean, I can eat veggies out of a veggie tray and dip it in veggie dip and it's good. Like I can crunch a carrot. And that for me was not something I could see myself doing, so I do have that. And I am very thankful. And I hope all of my denture wearers in this community, if you make it this far in the video, you realize how fortunate we are to have the opportunity to still stimulate the hippocampus apparently to learn how to eat again. Whereas if we physically had no teeth, no dentures, no nothing, we would be physically limited to what we could and couldn't do and have. After being almost an hour and a half long video, I will go ahead and wrap it up here. This may be my longest video yet. It was definitely a little draining, because I keep thinking about the member that asked for this to be mentioned. And again, I hope I talked about this in the way that you were hoping for. If there was something I'd missed and there was a certain piece of it that you were hoping I would cover or maybe say or talk about, maybe you don't like the way I did talk about it. I hope I did justice for you. Please leave a comment and leave me more feedback so that I can make this better. Those were just my personal takeaways. Is I am very grateful I have dentures, and I'm going to start looking into how can I and when can I afford another backup pair, because I only have the one set. Yeah. And like I said, any non-denture members here, anyone who doesn't have any teeth at all, please drop a comment, leave me feedback. Let me know if I missed anything or if you feel that I did not speak properly on the situation and potential perspective that you may have. I'm not trying to speak for any of you who don't have teeth or dentures and you're happy. I'm glad you're happy, and this video might just not have been appropriate for you. If anything, I hope that maybe you're just more aware and you do your own research and you are happy with your decisions. And again, I just want to say I'm sorry. I missed it. It didn't occur to me to make a video or to speak on that because it's not my personal perspective, but I also was not thinking about the perspective of you and the fact that you might not feel there is a place for you, which that is going to make me cry. Okay. There is a place for you, and I'm thankful that you felt comfortable enough to tell me and to open the door so that I could invite you in. Oh my God. It was never my intention for anyone to ever feel left out, and it's never my intention for me to make anyone here feel like they don't have a voice or a platform. This platform is for you. It is not for me. I'm just a very confident person with my dentures. I enjoy talking about it. It was a positive impact for my life. And all I wanted was to inspire and encourage others to take the second chance that they've been given, like myself, and use it to have a higher quality of life. I'm going to keep rambling, but just know that that was never my intention. This platform belongs to you just as much as anybody else, and please let me know if I didn't do justice for your situation, because I am grateful to have you, and our conversations have been wonderful, very insightful, very impactful, and I hope you feel welcome to this group. You are just as welcome, and if there is anyone else who feels as though their situation has not been referenced or voiced on this platform, I encourage you to please let me know. You can leave a comment if you're comfortable. If not, you can email me at danielle.denture@gmail.com. I check that email about once a week, or I try to. I do manage like 3 or 4 other emails, including my work one, so but I will always do my best to make sure you guys know how important you guys are to this group, because all I want is for you guys to know that you belong somewhere and that your voice and your story does matter. It means the world to me. Okay, now I'm done. I know it's not that serious to other people, but this is very serious to me. Because I know what it was like to not feel like I belonged. So I take it personal. And I am happy that I found not only the family to belong to, the husband, the son to belong to, but this group. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a tough one for me. If you like videos like this one, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, although it hardly seems appropriate. I guess if you like long videos that are an hour and a half long, or you like videos that talk about other situations, let's roll it that way. If you don't already belong to this support group, I hope you know that the door is open to you, and you are more than welcome to subscribe. I'm gonna go do my nails and stuff now. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.